Howdy folks, I have a really important message for you today. I want to tell you all about a top secret program that's been going on right above your heads up in the sky. It's a top secret government program to combat global warming. You might even label me as some kind of a crackpot. Do I look like some kind of a crackpot to you? My crackpot sources for this video were the National Academies of Science, researchers at Stanford University, the University of California, Berkeley, Lawrence Livermore Laboratory, the Department of Energy, crackpots all. So, let's find out about this secret program that may affect your health and your future. Sit back, enjoy, and relax if you can. Here is Chemtrails over Amarillo.
For about the past 10 years, I've watched and I've wondered about the weird-looking, odd jet trails over Amarillo that don't dissipate and disappear, but instead spread and spread and hang for hours, covering a once clear and blue sky and sun with a thin band of web-like, tangled white clouds. The scientific acceptance of scattering metallic particles in the sky to mitigate anticipated global warming from the buildup of greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide, dates back to a National Academies of Science 1992 report, Policy Implications of Greenhouse Warming, Mitigation, Adaptation, and the Science Base. This National Academies of Science document was also published in book form in 2000. The National Academies of Science called for study of geoengineering options in case international agreements to reduce greenhouse gas emissions failed. And indeed, they failed miserably. One inexpensive geoengineering option, commonly known as the geritol cure, would dump iron filings into cold southern seas to stimulate growth of photosynthetic organisms to consume excess carbon dioxide, the NAS report said. And dumping iron filings appeared to work as expected in an experiment near the Galapagos Islands. Another cheap option, the report said, would mix reflective metallic particles with jet fuel and scatter them into the atmosphere from commercial aircraft. This would increase the planet's albedo to reflect more of the sun's heat back into space and offset global warming, the report said. The National Academies of Science report also said metallic particles could be scattered in the atmosphere inexpensively by blasting them into the sky in 1-ton canisters fired from 16-inch guns. The plans to screen sunlight, quote, appear to be feasible, economical, and capable of mitigating the effect of as much CO2 equivalent per year as we care to pay for. The report said, quote, such systems could probably be put into full effect within a year or two of a decision to do so, and mitigation effects would begin immediately. The amount of particles spewed in a program to prevent global warming would be similar to the amount and have similar Earth cooling effects as the particles blown into the sky in the 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, the scientists said. While the prestigious National Academies of Science panel was preparing this report, a patent to seed the stratosphere with metallic particles was awarded to Hughes Aircraft Company of Los Angeles. United States patent 5,003,186 was awarded in March 1991 and titled, get this, Stratospheric Welsbach Seeding for Reduction of Global Warming. The patent called for mixing 10 to 100 micron size particles of aluminum oxide, thorium oxide, or other Welsbach metals with jet fuel and dispersing them at about 30,000 feet to reflect radiation and heat back into space. The patent expected the particles to remain suspended for about a year. Welsbach was that scientist who discovered rare earth metals. He's known for inventing reflective mantles for gas lights such as Coleman lanterns. And about 6 years later, noted scientist Edward Teller put his reputation behind the idea to seed the stratosphere with aluminum oxide particles as a cheap way to prevent global warming. Similar particle seeding in reverse also could stop climate cooling and another ice age, Teller said. The late Teller was best known as father of the hydrogen bomb. He was a senior research fellow at the Hoover Institution at Stanford and co-founder and former director of the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory at the University of California. A scientific paper by Teller and two Lawrence Livermore colleagues said scattering enough metals in the atmosphere to increase albedo by about 1% to reflect more solar radiation than heat, called physics-based modulation, would prevent global warming at a cost of a paltry $1 billion a year. The global warming paper was presented at the 22nd International Seminar on Planetary Emergencies in Iris, Italy in August 1997. Teller's scientific proposal was outlined to the public in an October 1997 Wall Street Journal article, The Planet Needs a Sunscreen, and a 1998 Hoover Digest article, Sunscreen for Planet Earth. Other top scientists who have proposed geoengineering to combat global warming are David W. Keith of the University of Calgary, Gary Benford of the University of California at Irvine, and Jay Michelson and Stephen H. Snyder, both of Stanford. Michelson published a paper at Stanford titled, get this, Geoengineering, a Climate Change Manhattan Project. count me among those who think the program has already started. It started, I believe, on an experimental basis almost 20 years ago, and it's ramped up ever since. Just look into the sky, folks. Believe your own eyes. Look at the information that's provided to you at the end of this video. Think for yourself. Has it started? Is the government spraying a mixture of reflective aluminum particles and polymers into the stratosphere at about 30,000 feet to try to reflect sunlight and heat back into space to save us from global warming?